Wang Hao. Wang Hao coached Fan Zhendong to Olympic gold in 2024. But his own Olympic journey? Pure heartbreak. Wang Hao didn't just lose the Olympic finals once or twice. He made it an art form, reaching 3 consecutive Olympic singles finals and losing every single one. Beijing 2008, London 2012, and what many forget, his earlier heartbreak too, the 2004 Athens Games, where his first major Olympic final ended in disappointment. Wang Hao's best Olympic record was a silver medal in men's singles, a bittersweet achievement that made his story even more poignant. Wang Hao's Olympic story reads like a Greek tragedy written by the table tennis gods themselves. Wang Hao held the world #1 ranking multiple times throughout his career, dominating the sport with his unique penhold reverse backhand technique. This revolutionary playing style made him virtually unbeatable in most tournaments. He won world championship titles, claimed World Cup victories, and defeated every top player of his generation in regular competition. His technique was so innovative that it influenced an entire generation of Chinese players who came after him. But the Olympics were different. In Beijing, playing on home soil with over 1 billion people watching, Wang Hao reached the final only to lose to his teammate Ma Lin in a match that had the entire nation on edge. The pressure of performing in front of his home crowd, combined with the weight of expectations, seemed to affect his usually flawless technique. 4 years later in London, he made it to the final again, this time falling to Zhang Jike in another heartbreaking defeat that left him devastated on the biggest stage. The cruel irony of Wang Hao's story is that his playing style was perfectly suited for the modern game. His reverse backhand was ahead of its time, a technique that would become standard for penhold players worldwide. He possessed the skill, the mental fortitude for regular tournaments, and the competitive fire that marked all great champions. Yet somehow, when it mattered most, when the Olympic spotlight shone brightest, something always went wrong. What made Wang Hao's Olympic struggles even more painful was watching his contemporaries claim the gold that eluded him. Ma Lin, Zhang Jike, and other players who he regularly defeated in other competitions managed to peak at precisely the right moment during Olympic years. It wasn't that Wang Hao wasn't good enough, he was arguably the most skilled player of his generation. The timing simply never aligned with his peak performances. If you enjoyed reliving these legendary stories, make sure to subscribe and drop a like. That way more fans can rediscover the Olympic table tennis matches that the world still can't stop talking about. Xu Xin. Moving from one heartbreak to another, let's examine Xu Xin, another player whose Olympic dreams remain unfulfilled despite reaching the absolute summit of world table tennis. Xu Xin's story is particularly fascinating because his playing style was unlike anything the sport had ever seen. His massive forehand loops, combined with incredible footwork and an unorthodox technique, made him a nightmare opponent for anyone brave enough to face him. Xu Xin held the world #1 ranking and dominated the sport during his peak years with a style that was both beautiful and devastating. His forehand was a weapon of mass destruction, capable of generating tremendous spin and power from seemingly impossible angles. Players who had conquered everyone else in the sport would struggle to read his shots, unable to predict where his next attack would come from or how much spin he would impart on the ball. However, despite all of his success, Xu Xin's Olympic story was bittersweet. His best Olympic record came in the 2020 Tokyo Games, where he earned a silver medal in the mixed doubles event alongside Liu Shiwen. Yet, the gold medal, the one that would have completed his legendary career, continued to elude him as he and Liu Shiwen were defeated by Japan's famous mixed pair, Ito Mima and Mizutani Jun, in the final. The Beijing Olympics came and went without Xu Xin making a significant impact, despite his world-class abilities. His peak years coincided with perhaps the strongest generation of Chinese players in history, making selection for the Olympic team incredibly competitive. When he did get his chances at subsequent Olympics, the pressure and unique dynamics of Olympic competition seemed to affect his normally free-flowing style. What makes Xu Xin's Olympic absence from the gold medal podium so surprising is his dominance in other major competitions. He captured world championship titles, claimed multiple World Cup victories, and defeated every elite player of his era in regular tournament play. His head-to-head records against other top players were often heavily in his favor, making his Olympic struggles all the more puzzling. The technical aspects of Xu Xin's game were perfectly suited for Olympic competition. His ability to change the pace and spin of rallies could disrupt any opponent's rhythm, while his defensive capabilities meant he could retrieve shots that would be winners against other players. Yet somehow, when the Olympic stage was set, his magic seemed to disappear just when he needed it most. If you enjoyed reliving these legendary stories, make sure to subscribe and drop a like. That way more fans can rediscover the Olympic table tennis matches that the world still can't stop talking about. Yingsha. Moving from one heartbreak to another, let's now turn our attention to Yingsha, a player whose Olympic journey, though marked by incredible achievements, has also been tinged with tragedy. The current world number one, Yingsha has dominated women's table tennis like few players before her. Her rise to the top has been meteoric, combining incredible technique with a competitive fire that burns brighter than most champions. Her forehand and backhand are both weapons, her footwork is exceptional, and her mental game appears unshakable in most circumstances. But despite these exceptional qualities and an astonishing list of achievements, Yingsha's Olympic story remains bittersweet. The one thing that has eluded her, and perhaps the one thing that could define her career, is the elusive Olympic gold. While she has claimed nearly every other major title in the sport, it's the Olympic gold that keeps slipping through her fingers. To date, Yingsha's best Olympic singles record stands at a silver medal, not once but twice consecutively. Both times she was defeated by the same person, her teammate and Olympic champion Chen Meng. These defeats occurred on the grandest stage of them all, the Tokyo 2020 and Paris 2024 Olympic Games. The emotional weight of those moments has added a layer of heartbreak to an otherwise glittering career. Yet the story of Yingsha is far from over. The question remains, can she still achieve her Olympic dream, or is it one tragedy after another? A meteoric rise. Born on November 4, 2000 in Hebei, China, Yingsha's rise in the world of table tennis has been nothing short of extraordinary. She began playing table tennis at the age of 5 and quickly showed signs of prodigious talent. As she grew older, her natural instincts, combined with hard work, catapulted her through the ranks. By the age of 18 she was already dominating in international competitions, winning titles in the ITTF World Tour, the World Cup and the World Championships. Her game was a breath of fresh air for table tennis fans around the world. Her playing style was aggressive yet controlled, built on explosive forehands and a near-perfect backhand. Her footwork, agility, and the way she covered the table were nothing short of breathtaking. But what set her apart was not just her technique, it was her mental toughness. Even in the face of tough opponents or challenging situations, Yingsha remained composed. This mental fortitude was evident from a very early age, and it propelled her to the top. Yingsha's rise to the number one spot in the women's singles rankings was the culmination of years of dedication and persistence. She claimed multiple World Tour titles, and by 2020 she was firmly established as one of the world's premier players. But despite all of her achievements, it was clear that the Olympics were the final frontier for her, something that had eluded her thus far. The road to Tokyo 2020. The Tokyo 2020 Olympics marked Yingsha's first serious bid for Olympic glory, and expectations were high. Heading into the Games, she was the world number one, having firmly established herself as the player to beat. Yingsha's style of play had matured, and her combination of power and finesse was seen as the perfect weapon for Olympic success. Her preparation for the Games was meticulous, every detail was fine-tuned, and her form leading up to Tokyo was dominant. Yet, as often happens with the Olympic Games, the pressure of the occasion and the weight of representing her country on such a monumental stage affected her performance. The Olympic atmosphere is unlike any other, and Yingsha was about to learn that firsthand. In the final of the Tokyo 2020 women's singles event, Yingsha found herself facing Chen Meng, the defending world champion and a fellow Chinese player. The match was an emotional roller coaster, with both players battling not only for the gold but for the pride of their country. In a tense and gripping final, Yingsha fought valiantly but ultimately fell short, losing to Chen Meng in a 4-2 decision. The loss was a bitter pill to swallow. Here was Yingsha, the world's best, so close to Olympic gold, yet relegated to second place. The heartbreak was palpable, but what was remarkable was Yingsha's ability to stay composed and dignified in the aftermath. She was disappointed, of course, but there was no outpouring of emotion or tears. Instead, she reflected on her loss with maturity, stating that she would take it as a learning experience and come back stronger. For a young player still in the early stages of her career, This was a sign of immense character. Paris 2024. The same fate. As time passed, Sun Yingsha continued her dominance in the table tennis world, winning numerous titles and solidifying her position at the top of the sport. With the Paris 2024 Olympics on the horizon, she again found herself at the center of attention, with fans and analysts alike predicting that this would be her moment to claim the gold. The journey leading up to Paris was similar to the one before Tokyo. Meticulous planning, rigorous training, and an unrelenting focus on her ultimate goal. Once again, Sun Yingsha was the favorite heading into the games, and she was in excellent form, having won several major titles in the years leading up to the Olympics. Yet once again it was Chen Meng who stood in her way. The final in Paris mirrored the drama of Tokyo. Sun Yingsha fought hard, but once again she found herself on the losing side, falling to her rival, Chen Meng, in a thrilling match. It was a painful moment for Sun Yingsha, and the weight of losing in such a high-stakes final was undoubtedly heavy. To lose twice in a row to the same person in the same context is a unique kind of heartbreak, but it is also a testament to Chen Meng's consistency and skill. Chen Meng's status as the Olympic champion, having defeated Sun Yingsha on both occasions, solidifies her place in table tennis history. However, for Sun Yingsha the question remains, what more can she do to finally claim that elusive gold? The psychological battle. One of the most fascinating aspects of Sun Yingsha's journey is the psychological aspect of her game. In regular competition, Sun Yingsha has been nearly untouchable. Her ability to stay calm and execute her game plan, even in the most hostile environments, is remarkable. Her mental toughness is one of the reasons she has ascended to the top of women's table tennis. But the Olympics are different. The pressure to perform on the biggest stage, the fear of failure, and the weight of expectations can sometimes cause even the best players to falter. For Sun Yingsha, the Olympics have been an emotional roller coaster. Her defeats to Chen Meng in Tokyo and Paris, though heartbreaking, have also been defining moments in her career. They have shown the world not only her incredible talent but her resilience and determination to keep coming back. In the years to come, Sun Yingsha will have more opportunities to claim the Olympic gold. The road ahead is long, and the quest for gold will continue to shape her journey. But one thing is certain, Sun Yingsha's story is far from over. Whether she eventually captures that elusive Olympic title or not, her legacy in the sport of table tennis is already secure. The future. At just 24 years old, Sun Yingsha still has many years ahead of her in her career. The next Olympic cycle, starting with the Los Angeles 2028 Olympics, could be her chance to finally realize her dream. While the heartbreaks of Tokyo and Paris will always be a part of her story, they are not the end of her journey. Sun Yingsha's resilience, mental toughness, and exceptional skill set will continue to inspire future generations of table tennis players. Her rivalry with Chen Meng has become one of the most compelling stories in modern sports, and no matter the outcome of their future encounters, it will be remembered as a defining feature of her career. Sun Yingsha's quest for Olympic gold may yet be a tragedy waiting to be resolved, but it is also a story of perseverance, heart, and the pursuit of greatness. After watching every world number one who never won Olympic table tennis singles gold, which part surprised you the most? Drop your comment below and share the reason why.